today? Good.
Good.
Good. Cool. Let me fix my screen. I should have been doing that while we had 15 minutes, but I didn't. So shame on me. Anyways, for those of you who don't know me, I am Traci Bates. I am a member of the Bates Hennington Real Estate Group with Lorna Hennington. I got my license at the end of 2007. Lorna and I became business partners at the beginning of 2008. And we have been rocking and rolling ever since. So welcome. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you guys have. And I'll also put my information in the chat right now so that if you want to ask me any questions down the line or later, you can. So let me do that now. That's my cell, and I'll give you my email. And there you go. And John, I have to read from or refer to a different slide than the ones that they're seeing. So if you could help me along, that would be great. You're welcome, Patty. Call or email anytime. So let's get started. And we're talking about lead generation today, which is the core of your business. So if you don't lead generate, dare I say, you don't have any business. So you want to make sure that that's one of the first things that you do every day, and that you set out a schedule to do that every day. You have to have leads that filter into your database so that you can generate clients and sales. So it's important for you to understand the big picture, and I'm going to go to the big picture section of this slide, John. I'll wait until you get there. That's with the funnels. It's important to understand how what you're learning today is going to fit into the big picture. So if you take a look at the lead generation model, which, John, I'll wait until you pull that up. Hopefully you can pull it up. I think it's a couple slides after that. There it is. So if you take a look at that lead generation model, what are your thoughts when you think about it, when you look at it? What are your thoughts?
It's a vortex or a funnel.
It is a vortex and a funnel. Yep. And what about the vortex and the funnel is important in terms of lead generation? Anybody can answer.
Prospecting and marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, prospecting and marketing is, you know, at the top of the list. It's one of the first things that you need to do. And it ends with number 8, which is the close, which is where we all want to be. Close contracts help you achieve your financial goals and fund your big why. And if you haven't figured out your big why yet, take some time to do that, because knowing what your big why is what's going to help keep you motivated in this process. So you can see how your business will be affected if you're not diligent with each piece of the model. The model builds on top of each previous task. For example, without prospecting and marketing, you won't have any leads to convert to contacts. You won't have any contacts to get appointments with, and those lead to closed contracts, and you won't have those. So before we move on, does anyone have any questions about that? If you turn to page 4 in your participant guide, we'll talk about the lead generation model and that it's backed by research. that has been conducted for the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And if you don't have that book, rush out and get it. It's what we're referring to this time is the second edition of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. So I don't think I have that edition myself. I'm going to go out and get it. But today the discussion is going to focus on the solo agent model. As you'll see in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, it talks a lot about building teams and all of that. We're going to just talk about the solo agent model today. And that model is made up of 3 phases: lead generation activities, database activities, and sales pipeline activities. And the top part of the model, part 1, is categorized as lead generation. And this is the part of the model where you're going to focus on generating leads through prospecting and marketing. Prospecting is when you go out and find the leads. Marketing is when you attract the leads and they seek you out. So not only are you working to get new leads, but you're also working to get new, repeat, and referral business from your sphere of influence. And your sphere of influence are people that you already know. In part 2, you're working with your database, your leads and your contacts. Leads and contacts are broken into different parts of your database because you'll be working with and communicating with each group, leads and contacts, in a different way. You're working to stay on top of mind and have conversations through different touches or activities like phone calls, handwritten letters, event invitations, text messages, and promotional materials are all examples of how you might be in communication with your database. And part 3, sales pipeline, is the final piece of the model. Once a lead or a contact has raised their hand to do business and has identified a timeline to close, then they go into step 4, which is cultivate, which is the beginning of the last piece of the model. The remaining steps follow the transaction until it's been completed: appointment, active, under contract, and closed. And after the transaction is closed, the contract moves back into your contact database and continues in an interactive, value-based touch program to deepen your relationship with that person or those people. It's important to understand that just because a transaction is closed doesn't mean that the relationship has ended. Quite the contrary. You should continue to stay top of mind to gain repeat or referral business. What do you all think about that? Any questions or ahas you have related to that? What sticks out in your mind? I'm going to call you out, Maury. Maury's our rock star, and I know he has some valuable things to add.
And it's just for me. I've been going through my phone list, my contacts, and I guess in hearing this, it sort of makes me feel better about just contacts versus database. Like, it's hitting me like all of my contacts are not necessarily my database in command. Because I'm cleaning up all those contacts. Because some of them are people that I did business with 20 years ago. I have no idea who they are, where they are. And even though I call people, even though I don't know them, they may no longer exist. Maybe they moved out of town, they're not here. So that's not necessarily my database. Those are, my sphere and my contacts. And I guess I'm feeling better about my database being solid. These are people I've connected with. These are people I'm marketing to. These are people I'm cultivating. So that's the aha moment for me right now.
Right. And that's great. I think I agree in that. I just want to clarify. So everybody, everybody should be in your database. Like, everybody should be in your database. And then you want to have your database parsed out. So, you may want to have your active clients, your past clients, people who have referred you business. You want to make sure that you have people categorized in your database so that you know who they are, and that you can follow up and make notes with. But yeah, Maury, you make a really good point about, you know, knowing who these people are and the people that you need to stay in contact with, for sure.
And that's it. I put everyone from my phone into command, but
Yeah.
I tag them. I tag people in command, as you're saying. You know,
Yeah.
Are they cultivating? Are they warm? Are they cold? Are they hot? Yeah.
Yeah, very important. And then with command, obviously we have the smart plans, and you can throw them into a smart plan and they get communication with you, from you. So yeah, very important. Anybody else have any ahas or questions you have about the lead generation model? Okay, then we're going to talk about prospecting, how prospecting and marketing bring leads and contacts into your database. You should be prospecting based and marketing at enhanced. So that's something that we're going to talk about too. And also that your lead generation efforts absolutely never stop. The life of an agent business, it's purposeful and it's intentional, and it moves you closer to your goal and is part of your larger strategy. So the first part, we'll talk about reviewing. The first part of lead generation model is your prospecting and marketing activities. And we've just defined prospecting as active lead generation, which is going out and tracking down the leads, and marketing as the more passive lead generation effort. That's attracting the leads and letting the leads come to you. So how do you think agents that perform at a high level successfully use lead generation? What are your thoughts about that?
I think you have to do both on a daily basis.
Say it again.
I'm sorry, I have my mask on. I think you have to do both on a daily basis. I think, you know, there was something, I come from marketing, and there was a presentation I gave years ago, and it said at that time in the entertainment business, you had to hit people over the head 60 times before they made a buying decision. You know, so you've got to attract them, you've got to get them in, you've got to remind them, you can put them on a smart plan, you could send postcards. You've got to be consistent with it.
Absolutely.
It's called active and passive.
Yes. And I would also submit to you that, you know, lead generation and prospecting, well, let me put it this way. Marketing to a certain extent is easy. And if you have money, it's really easy. You know, you can send out postcards, you send out, you know, newsletters, all kinds of things like, but prospecting, actively going out and grabbing those leads are really what makes the impact. You're not sitting waiting for someone to come to you. You're actively going after them. And so I would submit that actively prospecting as part of your lead generation activities should probably supersede marketing. You know, I would say that, and that's how I approach my business. So, and however, whatever that means to you, or whatever method you use to go about doing that. But I would say that instead of waiting for somebody to come to you, go out to them. Keep going out to them. Let's watch a video now about how agents use lead generation. John, can you cue that up? Oh, we can't seem to hear it.
It's a great face.
See if I can try. I'm trying to see if I can get it on my screen. So hang on. Just a little bit of a technical difficulty here. Let's see. No, that's not it. Okay, bummer. You can't seem to get that. All right, doesn't look like we're gonna have a video today. So we'll just talk some more about lead generation.
His actual computer is on mute.
Say it again.
You can see if his computer is on mute, like the whole computer, not the video.
Yeah, and I don't know why I can't get it either. Hang on just a couple of seconds, guys, and I'm gonna try and get it on my end too. No, that's not it. I don't know why I don't have it. I don't have the video, so let's just keep going. And if you get it later, John, then just let me know and we'll go from there. All right, so let's talk next about, we were talking about the importance of lead generation. Let's talk about part one, lead generation, be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. So you want to turn to page 6 in your participant guide. And on page 6, you'll find a comprehensive list of prospecting and marketing activities that you can refer to in the future. Lead generation is an ever-evolving list of ideas, methods, and practices that bring leads into your business. They are broad categories of both prospecting and marketing to choose from. And those are, again, listed in your participant guide. Even though a variety of factors, the market, the agent's preferences, budget, and goals will dictate the type of sources you're going to use, it is best practice to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced, and also to be able to talk. I don't know what's going on with my mouth, but all right. So let's talk about marketing. Marketing is indirect. It should attract leads and support and enhance your prospecting conversations. For example, sending a direct mail advertisement or leaving one while door knocking, then leveraging the material to have a follow-up conversation. That's an example of marketing. Prospecting is proactive and direct. It keeps you in an active versus reactive state. It is the act of searching for your leads. It allows you to focus on proactive customer creation activities that will be critical to your ability to hit your numbers when the market shifts and you're in a period when marketing efforts don't generate enough leads. So I'll ask you, why do you think it's better to be prospecting based and marketing and enhanced?
Because you don't know what's going to happen, so you can't expect things to just happen by themselves, than sending out something in the mail. So it's better to, be doing something yourself and making it happen.
Yep. Anyone else?
It's that personal touch of reaching out to a person and then you're in front of them because they're not thinking about you during the course of their day until you're in front of them. And then you can send the marketing to kind of push it. But for just remind them again, then they have the material that they can call back to.
Absolutely. You kind of hit the nail on the head in terms of a personal touch. And this is a relationship business as much as some of these real estate platforms want to try and make it not be. This is a relationship business. And so the more face-to-face direct contact that you have with somebody, absolutely the better. Anyone else have any other ideas or responses you want to share? It's best to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced because it's cost effective. When you're prospecting based, you're having conversations and you're building connections with your database. And when you're prospecting, you can determine the climate in certain geographical areas where you focus your prospecting efforts. Prospecting allows you to really become in tune with the geographical areas you service, and it gives you insight into why people are moving in and out of an area. You also become the local expert by learning what makes that geographic area unique. Okay. So in part 2, we're going to talk about database. What is a database and managing your database using command. And it's important that everyone really understands the purpose of having a database. At Keller Williams, we've developed command, and part of the platform command is your database. And a database is a tool that centrally stores your customer and prospect contact information, which is regularly updated with new details and events. It can be organized and sorted as needed, and it is continually added to in order to increase your business. It's a tool to nurture and manage your relationships and to track the interactions you have with those people. A well-tended database produces leads. And I am going to say that again. A well-tended database produces leads. A powerful database managed by a powerful schedule produces a predictable flow of leads. And from a predictable flow of leads, you can expect a predictable flow of business and income. So the size of your database and your activities to follow up with the people in their database or in your database will determine the size of your bank account. And it's your database that's the lifeline for your business. Your database is the second segment of the lead generation model. And your lead generation efforts bring leads and contacts into that database. Command automatically segments your database into 2 powerful categories, leads and contacts, and that's seen in the model. So in your database, leads and contacts are segmented because you'll be working with them in a different way. So let's talk about that a little bit. With leads, you have their contact information. You don't know what their motivation is, but you can infer their motivation. For example, the Thompsons down the street might be thinking of buying. Here's their name and number. Start one-way offer-based communication that is geared towards getting a response and understanding their motivation and beginning a relationship. With contacts, you have implied or explicit permission to have an ongoing connection with them. You've communicated with them and they've responded. For example, meeting someone in line at the grocery store and finding out that you're neighbors or you went to the same college. You then exchange contact information and they know you're a real estate agent. That's an implied two-way conversation. So when you think about it, what are some lead contact sources that you can think of?
Expired listings.
Sure.
Or for sale by owner.
Sure. Yep. That's leads. Anyone have anything for contacts?
Family members?
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Leads, an example or could be for leads or neighborhood or a geographic farm, your social media followers, those are leads. Your LinkedIn contacts, those are leads. Think far and wide. Variety sources, there are a variety of sources of leads. And with contacts, your sphere of influence, certainly your family, your friends, your neighbors, your former coworkers, schoolmates, teammates, all those are contacts, people that you've already somewhat have a relationship with or that know you. Part of having a successful database is to establish consistent and purposeful communication. And this comes in the form of using a touch campaign to stay top of mind. So turn to page 7 in your participant guide. And we'll talk about the recommended touch campaigns for leads and contacts. So if you haven't become aware already, Keller Williams likes to use numbers and letters to convey certain things. And you'll see this throughout the Keller Williams family. So with leads, we have something we call 19 to connect. And that consists of 4 touches, which is a quarterly phone call, 12 touches, a monthly email, a newsletter, a market report, or a video. Those can all be part of your 12 touches. 2 touches, which could consist of direct mail, like a magnet, a calendar, a market report, etc. And then 1 touch, an annual event, a party, a movie screening, a get together, but something in person or virtually if COVID is still hanging out, that you can do online. With contacts, we have something called 36 to convert. And that again consists of 4 touches, so 4 telephone calls, 26 touches, a biweekly email offering some type of information of value to the consumer, 2 touches, events, get-togethers, parties, and then 4 touches, which could be promotional direct mail, like a magnet, a calendar, a market report, etc. So relevant conversations mean relevant value. Timely conversations mean greater opportunity to convert the lead to a contact and on to a closed transaction. The gateway to using most of Command's features lies with first adding contacts to your database. And we're not going to have time to do it now, but you'll go through and there are Command classes where you'll learn how to add a contact if you don't already to your database. But you definitely want to make sure that you understand how to do that and how to manage your database. We'll talk a little bit more about that now, adding contacts to your database. Do you guys have any questions though so far?
Who do you use to send your newsletters out? Or, well, so I've done my leases, and then I have those clients who are looking that I've leased to possibly buying in 6 months, but I can't find a newsletter that I feel looks nice enough to send. So I actually end up sending nothing, and I'm not staying in contact with them.
Yeah, that happens. And, I would say that if you get stuck in a place like that, anybody else, if you get stuck in a place like that, create an email and then just send it out as a BCC. Something is better than nothing. But I use, Jenny, I use MailChimp. And they have some templates in there that you can use. And if you don't want to use those templates, they have easy to create, like, move and drop to create a template that you can use going forward to stay in contact. But that's what we use, MailChimp.
Okay. Yeah, something that looks nice, because some of the clients I have are, really, well, I saw a newsletter with Compass.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. And
So
I was trying to find something.
Yeah, copy the style. Listen, I cheat all the time. None of this stuff is proprietary. Copy the style, go into MailChimp and trust it's easy and it's free. I believe it's free. I don't think I'm paying for it. Not sure. Maybe I am, a nominal amount if I am. But it's real easy to create. You don't have to be some type of like tech wizard to do. I'm not. So do that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try that out. Thank you.
Yeah, put that at the top of your list, because the last thing you want to do is check in with them and they've connected with somebody else and you've lost that opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly where I'm at. That's what I need to do.
Right. So As far as your contacts in Command, you're going to be adding your own contacts to Command. If you're new to using Command, you know, you want to just get really familiar with it. Add contacts. You should be, what they want you to do is add contacts, not leads, people you're connected with. So start out with doing that first. You can add personal contacts, social media contacts, past coworkers, people that are involved in that you're involved in clubs or activities with. But start out by doing that. Those should be people that are in your sphere of influence that you can add right away, that, you know, don't take any time to do. Some of that contact data might have holes missing. There might be, you know, maybe you don't have an address for that person or a phone number or something like that. This is your opportunity for you to have a conversation with those people, to deepen the relationship and to complete the contact information. So, you know, if you're lacking a phone number or address, or an email address, you know, contact them via whatever method you do have and open up a conversation with them. And if you don't know about Ford, Ford, as a conversation starter, look it up. But that can help you ease very easily into a conversation with them, and it feels natural. And you can get this kind of information from them to kind of fill the gaps in your database. Okay. Once you have your contacts in Command, then you can start personalizing your database to fit your individual business needs. And Command has what you call custom tags, as you'll see here, and they allow you to create categories to add to your contacts. So category examples can be things like buyer, seller, renter, investor, first-time buyer, luxury, open house contact. All of those are tags, and you'll want to think about the tags that you want to use in your database and then tag each person. This is helpful because when you want to send out, for instance, a message to just people who are looking to buy, buyers, and you have all the buyers tagged that way, then whatever message you decide to send out is just going to go to the buyers and it won't go to everybody else. And you're in a better position to hold on to, you know, those people when they're not getting information or messages that don't fit them. So make sure that you're tagging people. Segmenting your database into more purposeful categories will help you communicate more effectively with each group. So I'll ask, what other tags do you think you might find useful to add to your database? I'll throw one out, vendors. I have a vendors tag. So I just put all my vendors in there.
When they're ready to purchase?
You can have, what I would suggest is, if you want to do something like that, we have active client A, active client B, and active client C. Active client A is ready to go in the next 30 or 60 days. So we know if we go in and want to filter our contacts to see everybody who's ready to go in the next 30 or 60 days, because we want to do a follow-up, then they're all in active client A. Active client B is, you know, past that period. You know, I think A is
0 to
like
30, I
90
think.
days. B is beyond that. And then C is just like probably a year or two down the line. So we've segmented those out so that we know who we're contacting. If we want to stay on top of the A's and make sure that, hey, we're working with them, we're setting them up with auto notifications of properties, and we're making sure we're setting appointments with them, those are all of our A's. We're following up with the B's to find out, okay, how's that pre-approval going? Did you guys, you know, get that bonus check you were looking for to help you with the down payment, because you weren't quite ready, so you need a couple more months? Those are the B's. And the C's are people who we're just going to follow up with periodically to make sure that we're top of mind. So we might hit them, you know, once a month with something. So yeah, good idea to do that.
Tracy,
Yeah.
can you give us another example of what a tag would be?
Sure. So I have buyer, I have seller. You might have renter, investor, open house contact for somebody who you met at an open house.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to tag past clients because I want to pull all my past clients. I might say past client buyer, past client seller, so that I know, who those people are. So when I go into command and want to, hey, I want to make phone calls to everybody who bought with me in the past year. I'll filter out, past client buyers, and they all come up, and I can call those people.
Thanks.
Sure, you're welcome. So now we'll talk about your database. What do they want us to talk about now? They want you to be creating these tags in your database, but we really don't have the opportunity to do that right now. But again, there's there's a Facebook page. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's a KW Command Facebook page. So I would like that page and follow it because they provide information on up-to-date stuff that's happening with command. So if you have any questions, sometimes they can be answered there. And then I think kw.command.com, one of them is a Q&A, and your answers might be in there. In your database in command, you can create and save custom views, smart views for easy access to information that you want to see, quickly see that's related to your contacts. So you can set up a group of filters and save the filter settings to create a smart view. And you can also customize the naming conventions of the smart views that you save. So that can help you if you're, you want to look at this particular information every single time, then you can go ahead and save it so that it'll view it that way. And then once you have your contacts in your database and you're having conversations, it's your job to qualify the lead or contact and assess how ready and motivated they are. Following questions can be used to assess their readiness and motivation. So questions like, when do you need to be in your home? What is your time frame to sell? Where are you going? When do you need to be there? Those are the types of questions that you can help you in your interactions with people to help move you along and understand what their motivations are. Command will allow you to track the results of those conversations through logging your interactions. And an interaction can be a note from a conversation. It can be meeting notes. It can be phone calls, call notes, and text messages. Or it can be appointment information. This is really key and important and makes you really stand out after if you use it. And I suggest that you do, because when I'm talking to someone or when I've sent them an email or a text message or whatever, I log that information in to the interaction, which I think might be the next screen, John. And that interaction, I'll say, spoke to Nancy and her kids are going to go back to school in a month, and then I'll create a task for myself to call Nancy back, and whenever I'm going to call her back. But before I call her, I'm going to go into my contacts and see, what was my last conversation with Nancy? Okay, so I can follow up. Hey, Nancy, how's it going? Did the kids get back into school yet? How did they go? So it helps you pick up the conversation and move the conversation along, because you can't remember everything that you talked about with everyone that you're talking to, because you're talking to a bunch of people, right? You should be anyway. So this is a really good way to keep track of your conversations. And it's an absolute lifesaver because you can log in the things that you want to discuss the next time when you're talking to these people. All right. The next topic that we're going to cover is your sales pipeline. There we go. And that's the final segment of your database. And at this point of the model, you have used prospecting and marketing, your lead generation activities, to bring leads and contacts into your database. You've worked with both segments of your database through touch campaigns to stay top of mind and to have conversations. As you have these conversations and deepen the relationships, leads and contacts will raise their hands to do business with them. At that point, the lead or the contact enters the final phase of the lead generation model, which is your sales pipeline, starting with step 4, cultivate. As you cultivate your leads and contacts, your ultimate goal is to win the appointment that will launch them to the new goal of a closed transaction. In Command, KW has developed smart plans which will automate the way in which you cultivate and stay in communication. So you'll see how you can add contacts to smart plans when you go in. It's real, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's not difficult. And you want to make sure that you have your contacts in smart plans because that's automated communication with these people. As the transaction process progresses through the appointment to active, then under contract and close, you're also going to mirror the steps from the model in Command. After the transaction has closed, the contact moves back to the contact database and continues an interactive value touch program to deepen the relationship. And that goes back to what Jenny was talking about. She's closed the transaction. She's finished the lease. It's all done. Now what? Ooh, don't let go of those people. Go back in and make sure that you've got them in some type of program to where you're consistently staying in touch with them and top of mind so that when they're ready to make their next move, or if they have somebody that they want to refer or someone who's talking about real estate, they'll think about you. That's what you want to do. And that's what staying top of mind is all about. So, you can set up some type of program and smart plan that reminds you, after you close a deal, send some flowers or whatever it want to do, at the end of the deal. Then 1 week later, give them a call and ask them how they're doing. Then on their 1 month anniversary, send a little token, how's it going or whatever. You want to be systematic and to make sure that you're staying in contact. And it's not, and of course I've mentioned things that cost money, but you don't have to spend money. You can, a simple phone call or text message or email to check in on somebody and ask someone how it's going keeps you top of mind and lets them know that you are invested in them and lets them know the type of service that you're providing. So make sure that you do that. Don't let those people go. Anybody have any ahas or questions at this point? Oh, Carlos, you're raising your hand. I'm sorry, I missed it. What's up?
I just wanted to ask you, you said that you are able to email all your leads at the same time in Command?
I actually do it through mail. I do things through MailChimp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're supposed to be able to do it through Command.
No, you can't.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you were trying to get me to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos, you
That it changed, but
hey, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Carlos, just to answer your question, I've done it through Command.
so you can email, like, let's say all your buyers you can email, like, let's say you have 50 of them.
If you enter it into your contacts, you can import them into whatever campaign that you have going to send information. Yes, long and short is yes, you can email all of them.
Oh, okay.
Want to get with Mbe after this. Looks like she's a step ahead of you, Carlos.
Yeah.
She's definitely a step ahead of me. I'm using MailChimp right now, but thank you, Mbe, for that.
You're welcome, Traci.
If there aren't any other questions, let's talk about your leads and your contacts. And qualifying your contacts and leads right away, ready, willing, and able, can help them see who, or help you see who needs their immediate. I am not talking well today. Once you qualify your leads right away as ready, willing, and able, that can help you see who needs your immediate attention. Contacts that do not have an immediate plan to buy or sell soon can be put on a smart plan so that you stay top of mind and that you can focus your efforts appropriately. Smart plans are not just for those contacts that aren't ready to buy or sell immediately, but there are a variety that can work for any contact in your database. So once again, you want to get into your smart plans into Command and just play around with it and see how it works. You can set yourself up or a friend up on something and track how the smart plan communicates with them. But as soon as a contact is added to smart plan, it's immediately effective. So make sure that you know that. And as soon as you've had conversations with your contacts and you have an address, you can immediately put your contact on the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan, which is really nice because it lets them know what's happening in their neighborhood. Everybody wants to know what's happening in their neighborhood, buyers and sellers alike. So it's nice to have that. So make sure that you're getting folks' addresses as you go along with this. You guys have any other questions? The next section is about recapping and creating your success list, turning ahas to achievement, creating your success list. So let's go. You want to go to page 8 in your participant guide. And our goal here was to help you think, feel, act, and use what you learned to ignite your passion and help you achieve your big why. So write down your ahas for each of the categories, the think, feel, and act. And I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And then would love for a few people to share your responses.
Just remembering how important it is to touch base with everyone in a different way, calling them, emailing them, maybe sending them something in the mail, using a variety of different methods.
Absolutely.
Not just calling them or sending them an email.
Right. I think it's super important to use a variety of different methods. You don't know which one is going to resonate with somebody. So that's important. Anybody else? Anybody want to talk about how your behaviors going forward are going to be different? What actions you're going to take going forward?
Mine's a lot of it's just getting into Command and just attacking it because at first you're intimidated by it.
Yeah.
I did watch something on it again earlier this morning. So just that, the 10 calls, just putting on my contacts and there's just something I just have to be proactive and do, just to take it a little bit every day. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I agree. I still struggle with it too. So, it's, one of those things, it's like I set my goals every day to, we call it relationship building instead of lead generation. So I set my relationship building goals every day. But then I have to also include the time to update the notes in Command because that's, that's a key part of it. So, I'm still working on that too. Anyone else?
Do you put your contacts in MailChimp and in Command?
Yes, we do. We do. We were very untrustworthy at first. And so we had our Google contacts, and then we had our Command contacts, and then we had our MailChimp contacts, and we had all these. And so every time we met somebody, it's like, you put them here, you put them there. And then it's just like, okay, we got to at some point, let that go. So yeah, we put them in MailChimp and in Command.
There's a program called PySync.
Yep.
And it'll allow you can get a free trial, and then it'll allow you to transfer all your contacts between a bunch of different applications like Command and MailChimp.
For sure.
Is that PIE? PySync?
PIE, yeah.
It used to be in the sidebar, in one of the sidebar links in Command. I don't know if it's still there. But you
because I have mine when I get a lead, I automatically put it in my cell phone and my Apple contacts. And then I never make it past that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it feels tedious, but it's so important. And I have to tell myself that too every day. It is so important to make sure that you're putting these people in and you're tagging them. You really need to tag them. So figure out what your tags are going to be and create those tags and put people in there. And then then you're able to start moving forward and getting more information from them. I like going to their Facebook pages and adding that stuff in, just like everything. You want to have all their information in there. So yes, it's tedious, but you know what? If you say I'm lead generating for 3 hours today, that doesn't mean that you're calling people for 3 hours. That 3 hours includes the time that you're going to take to decide who is it that I'm contacting today, and then getting that list together to contact, and then making the contact, and then doing your follow-up in Command and tagging those people. So the lead generation part of it encompasses all of that. It's from the beginning of to the end. So if you're doing your lead generation by hours, understand that that is what is part of the hours in lead generation.
Tracy, I think for me, as a new realtor, is consistency, really just building a rhythm of the 10-4, especially today from the coaching call, just time blocking lead generation. Sounds like that's the least you should be doing. So, yeah, so I think today that's my aha moment, is connecting, lead generating, spreading the word, and then you'll start to build momentum from there. Sounds like.
Thanks for sharing that, Mbe. And yes, consistency is difficult. I've been doing this for a long time and I still have trouble with it. It's so easy to get sidetracked. And especially if you're working and you have clients and deals in progress, it's really easy to get distracted with doing the busy work. But I always think of something that one of my coaches used to say: every day that you don't go into escrow with somebody, you're another 30 days away from getting paid. So, I mean, if you think about it like that, it'll really get you on the phone. I haven't contacted anybody who wants to do anything today, so I'm more than 30 days out from getting a check. I mean, if that's a motivating thing for you, then you can think about it that way. But consistency and systematizing has been, just that little devil for me as well. But I'm working on it too. And that's why I'm on that morning call every morning at 9 o'clock, because even though I've been in business for a long time, I can't stop learning and I can't stop, those people energize and motivate me to do what I need to do.
The other part that I'm stuck at is my website. I do have one through Commands, but I know a lot of people use other websites. That's the only other task that I've been trying to get my, thoughts
Right.
around.
So website is important. I wouldn't get hung up on it. It's easy to get hung up on all that stuff. I want to have this like pretty website that people can go to and have all this, stuff going on. Like, that's great. I don't even know how many people look at my website. I don't know. My website actually kind of sucks right now. I had Scott Leroy help. Maury is a big proponent of Scott Leroy. And so, that's a free service that you can use and he'll help you get your website together. But don't get stuck on your website. Just do the work. And then the website leave it to Scott Leroy to fix.
Is that the Commands website that he helps with, or is it something else?
It's the website through Command.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does he help you with?
Maury, you want to talk about how Scott Leroy helped you?
Our market center employs Scott Leroy as a tech support, and he's helped me with anything technical. In fact, he built my website for me. I had very specific pages that I wanted, a very specific direction, and I asked him, it's so overwhelming for me to put it together myself. How do I do this? And he just turned around and said, oh, leave it to us. We'll just put it together for you.
Did he make a bio for you and stuff like that?
Well, I could supply that for him if you want a bio, you have to write it. But he'll lay it out for you. You know, he'll do the graphic design, he'll put it together for you.
He's a resource that's already paid for by the office. And so you'll want to make sure that you're in contact with him. I don't have his email address.
It's just support@scottleroymarketing.com.
There you go. support@scottleroymarketing.com. And I pointed to Maury because listen, Maury won't sing his own praises, but Maury's like superstar, rock star, rookie. In my book, rookie of the year. I don't know what
Yeah, year. I did a lot of business last year in my 10 months, but I'll tell you the secret really is just that, you know, this is a second career for me. And I have 30 years of building relationships, and it's everything that we went over today. It's just getting on the phone and calling everyone you know and telling them what you're doing. And don't be shy to ask for their business. You know, if you need something, if anyone you know needs any real estate help, please think of me. And I was really shocked, actually, how many people in my database wanted to sell a house or wanted to buy a new house, or even referrals. You know, hey, I have a friend, she's a first-time home buyer, she's ready to buy a condo, can I give her your number? It was just doing everything that you're talking about today, Traci. Just mining that database, mining those contacts. That was more important than getting the website together or doing advertising. It's COVID. I mean, how much advertising could you do? But it's just calling everyone.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing that. I don't mean to pick on you, but
no, that's fine. That's totally. I just never want to come across as, you know, boastful or arrogant. So I try to be humble. But in sharing with everybody, we're all in this together, and we all have our own specific sphere of influence.
Yes.
And talk to everyone. I mean, I go to the gas station. If I'm pumping gas and someone's standing next to me, I say something to them. You know, how you doing? Oh, okay, how you doing? Me, I'm doing great. I was just named Rookie of the Year. I went into real estate last year. And despite COVID, I'm just knocking it out of the park. And you know what? Most people say, okay, great. But the two people that say, hey, I'm looking for something, or my son is looking for a house, here's my business card, give me a call. What's his number? I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
Just talk to everybody. Don't be shy about it.
What's your website, Maury?
Maury Leitner Realtor. Take a look at, and like, it's MAURYLEITNER Realtor, and Scott put it together. And if you go under my name at the top right, there's a drop down, and you can see all the different pages that he put together.
Okay, thank you.
Basically, he's got a template. I gave him the stuff that I wanted in there, and he hooked it up.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Maury. I appreciate it. Does anyone else have any questions or ahas or comments they want to make before we end this class? I'm just really happy that you guys were here. This is probably one of the most important classes that you can take. I offered to teach this class because I want to be reminded about lead generation as much as possible. And I always, you know, get something from these classes too. So you'll see, you know, obviously some of you are brand new, and then we have people who have been in the office for a while who are back on this class, back in Ignite on this class, just reminding themselves of things. So it's important. Even though Maury was Rookie of the Year, look where he is. He's back in this class so that he can be reminded about lead generation. So it's important. I'm glad that you all came. I put my contact information in the chat. If any guys ever have a question and you want to ask, I'm available. And thanks so much for coming.
Thanks, Traci.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you, Traci. Bye.
You're welcome, babe. Bye. Bye,
Hey,
Lance.
Maury. So I got to your Instagram first, and that link that says www.mauryleitner.kw.com, it doesn't come up when you click on it. It says fail to load.
Oh, thank you for telling me. See, so I don't know what I'm doing. I will. Betty's sitting next to me. She's going to help me with it.
I just wanted to let you know since I was there.
Thanks, Jenny. I appreciate it.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.